Hello everyone. Yesterday we have studied knapsack problem using dynamic programming technique. Here one more method we have for the knapsack, that is knapsack using memory function. Here in this knapsack using memory functions, we will just come up with the drawbacks, means we will come out of the drawbacks of both the techniques, that is greedy technique and dynamic programming. First I'll just discuss with the greedy technique. Greedy technique we use top-down approach. And in this algorithm, as you all know, common subproblems will be solved more than once. Is it not? That problem we have just overcome in dynamic programming. Yes, greedy technique we use a top-down approach, and here this algorithm solves the common problems more than once. And we consider this as inefficient because 2 or 3 times the same subproblems we are solving means it is time killing and it will just decrease the performance of the algorithm. Next comes with dynamic programming. In dynamic programming, it will uses the bottom-up approach. This you have to remember. Greedy technique, it is top-down approach. Why I am calling this as top-down approach means from item 1 to 4 we will do. In dynamic programming also we will do from item 1 to the last, but here the last value we will take as the profit. Is it not? So we call this as bottom-up approach. Fine. Here the problem of this greedy technique will be overcome by dynamic programming, that is repeated execution of the sub-problems. In dynamic programming we will not just do that one. We will not just solve the repeated sub-problems, is it not? Because we will just maintain one table. In that table all the values will be there. If you find any sub-problem it is repeated, then directly from the table we can take. But what is the disadvantage of this dynamic programming? What is the drawback of this dynamic programming? This dynamic programming actually, what is the problem means? Here the solution to the sum of the sub-problems is not needed in order to compute the optimal solution, but still we have to just solve the solution for the sub-problems. Are you getting? We'll just divide one problem into several sub-problems. Some sub-problems it is not related to just find out the optimal solution, but still we will solve the sub-problem. Again it is time killing. So in order to just eliminate these two drawbacks, means in order to overcome these two drawbacks from greedy technique and dynamic programming, memory functions are introduced. In memory functions, it will use the top-down approach, but here it will not compute the sub-problems repeatedly, and if the sub-problems are not needed, then it will not execute that one. See, yesterday I have just showed you for the knapsack problem. For example, if I have a table or the matrix format like this, the table format, all the tables has to be filled with some value which is the solution for the sub problems, and here I'll get one value. This will be considered as the optimal solution, is it not? But in memory functions, what we will do is we will find out which values are needed to compute this one. Only those values we will compute. See, for example, here first row is needed, here this is not needed, this row is needed, then this is needed, this is not needed, this is not needed, this is needed, this is not needed. Only 3 values we have to compute to get this 25. This technique we'll use in memory functions. Okay, here you have to just remember the things. In this memory functions, we use the step 1. We use what? The top-down approach to solve the problem, and here as usual we maintain the table to store the computed result as we have done in dynamic programming. Second thing what you have to just remember is initially the table entries, this table, for example I have a table, okay, this is the table. Initially the table entries will be filled with null symbols. All the table entries, if it is empty, then it will be filled with null entries, means this hyphen indicates the null entry in this memory mapping, that is memory functions. Okay, and then they have to be computed. If the value is computed, then this null value will be replaced with that value. Then the third thing what you have to do, when a new value has to be computed, then it has to just check the corresponding entry in the table. If it is null, then the value is retrieved from the table. Otherwise, it is computed recursively and it's stored in the corresponding location. What is the meaning of that? If it is a null, then this is needed, the value will be computed and that value will be stored over here. Once again, if we'll go for the sub problem solving, then if it encounters any value, it will not just find out the value for that sub problem. If it is null, it will find out the value for that one and it will replace that value with null. This is how your memory function knapsack will work. Okay, let me go for the algorithm of this one. Before going for the algorithm, we have to see the recurrence relation. This is same as yesterday's, but a slight difference in this formula, that's it. V of ij is equals to 0 if I is equals to 0 or j is equals to 0. V of I minus 1 comma j if the weight is greater than your remaining capacity. Then max of, if the weight is less than remaining capacity, then max of V of I minus 1 comma j, then V of I minus 1 comma j minus Wi plus Pi. The same formulas we have to just find out, means we have to just use for this memory function also, but I'll tell you what is the difference. Now let me just see the algorithm for this one. Algorithm MF knapsack of I comma j, if V of I comma j is less than 0, okay, then here if j less than Wi, that is your remaining capacity is less than the weight, that is weight is greater than j, then what you have to do, I minus 1 comma j. If weight is greater than j, it is I minus 1 comma j. Else value is equals to, else means if Wi is less than equal to j, then you have to use MF knapsack, that is memory function knapsack of I minus 1 comma j. Then values of I j minus, here I minus 1 comma j minus Wi plus Pi. This is the profit. This is how you have to compute. This one you know. Is it not? Let me go for the problem directly here. Apply the memory function method to solve the problem instance of the knapsack problem with capacity m is equals to 5. Item 1, 2, 3, 4. That is n is equals to 4, m is equals to 5 it is given. Weights V1, V2, V3, V4. Is it not? That is, sorry, W1, W2, W3, W4. These are the weights. This is the profit. P1, P2, P3 and P4. These are the profits. Now let me see how we need to compute the knapsack by using memory functions. Let me go with the step 1. This is how we have to just construct the table in a matrix format. J, m is equals to 5 means from 0 to 5 you have to take, yesterday I have told you. Then I, n is equals to 4 means 0 to 4 we have to take. According to the first condition, see, 0, if I is equals to j is equals to 0. If I or j is equals to 0, then entire thing will be 0. Because in this row, I value will be equal to 0, but j value varies from 0 to 5. Here j value will be constant, that is 0, and I value varies from 0 to 4. So all these will become zeros. Here I have already told you the optimal solution will be present here. Is it not? In dynamic programming we will take the optimal solution which is present here, that is 4, 5. V of 4, 5. We have to start computing from here because this is needed. This is very much needed. You know, where your value will be stored, that is optimal solution, that is your maximum profit, that is in the 4, 5 place. So this one is needed, we know. All other things we don't know whether it is needed or not, but we know this is needed. So I'll start from here. Then you will come to know which are the things you need to compute. Now I'll go for step 1. Here in step 1 I'll compute V of 4, 5. Okay, I'll just compute V of 4, 5. We know here our optimal value will store, so I'll compute V of 4, 5. Okay, V of 4, 5 means here what is the I value? I is equals to 4. If I is equals to 4 means what is the profit and weight? Weight W4 is equals to 2 and P4 is equals to 15. Is it not? Weight and the profit. So P4 is equals to 15 and W4 is equals to 2. And what is the J value you are taking? J value you are taking it as 5. Yesterday we were taking one I value and all the J values, but here today we are not computing all the values. We know the J value which one we need to compute. So I am taking J is equals to 5. Here only you can see J 4 values we have reduced. So how much efficient is this one? Okay, now we have to first check weight is less than J or greater than J. See W4 that is 2. 2 is less than 5. Weight is less than J means Wi less than J means max of Vi minus 1 formula you have to take. So here I'll take V of 4, 5 is equals to max V of I minus 1, J, V of I minus 1, J minus Wi plus Pi. So here I'll take max P of I minus 1 means it is 3 because I value is 4, J value is 5. V of 3, 5. Then V of I minus 1 means again it is 3. J minus Wi that is 5 minus 2 is 3. V of 3, 3 plus what is P4 it is 15. Okay, now we don't know the value of V of 3, 5 and V of 3, 3. Now what is the meaning of this one? To compute the optimal solution we need to compute V of 3, 5 and V of 3, 3. So what we have to do? So compute V of 3, 5 and V of 3, 3. Okay, next I'll go to step 2. What you have to compute? V of 3, 5 I need to compute. That is I is equals to 3, J is equals to 5. I is equals to 3 means W3 is equals to 3, P3 is equals to 20. W3 is equals to 3 and P3 is equals to 20. Here you just see even 3 is less than 5, that is W is less than J. So you have to just take the same formula, this one, max. I'll just write it directly. Max V of I minus 1, that is 3 minus 1 is 2, J value is what? 5. 3, 5 we are computing. V of I minus 1, that is 3 minus 1 is 2, then J minus Wi, 5 minus 3 is again 2, V of 2, 2 plus profit is 20. So here we don't know the value of V of 2, 5 and 2, 2 also. So what you have to do? Compute V of 2, 5 and V of 2, 2. First we'll compute this V of 3, 3 and then we'll come for this one. Next we'll go for step 3. Step 3 we have to compute V of 3, 3. So I is equals to 3, P3 is equals to 20, W3 is equals to 3 and J is equals to 3. See here, J is equals to 3. Okay. Next here, W3 and J, it is equal. Equal means again you have to just find out the max only. So V of 3, 3 is equals to max V of I minus 1, J. I value is 3, 2, J value is 3, 2, 3, V of I minus 1 that is 2, J minus Wi that is 0. 3 minus 3 is 0 plus profit is what? 20. Is it not? So compute V of 2 comma 3 and v of 2 comma 0. Okay, yes, in this step we have got this one. In previous step we have got v of 2 comma 5 and 2 comma 2. First we'll compute that one and then we'll come for this. Step 4. Stepwise, if you just complete all the things, then there will be no confusion. If you get confused in the values, then mark whichever the values you have just find out, that one you mark. So v of 2 comma 5 I am going to find out now. 2 comma 5 means I value is 2, j value is 5. I is equals to 2, j is equals to 5. I is equals to 2 means w2 is equals to 1, p2 is equals to 10. w2 is equals to 1, then p2 is equals to 10. Here again w is less than j. So v of 2 comma 5 is equals to max value you have to take. Max of v of I minus 1, that is 1 comma j, that is 5. v of I minus 1 is 1, j minus wi is 4 plus profit is 10. So compute v of 1 comma 5 and v of 1 comma 4. Still we have not computed this also. We are computing with respect to step 2. Then step 5, compute v of 2 comma 2. 2 comma 2 we have to compute. I is 2, j is 2. I is equals to 2, j is equals to 2. I is equals to 2 means again w2 is equals to 1, p2 is equals to 10. Here see again w is less than j. v of 2 comma 2 max v of I minus 1 means 1 comma 2, that is j value, comma v of I minus 1 is 1, j minus wi is 1, 2 minus 1 plus profit is 10. So again compute v of 1 comma 2 and v of 1 comma 1. Now we have to compute this v of 2 comma 3 and 2 comma 0. I'll go to step 6. Compute v of 2 comma 3. v of 2 comma 3 means I is equals to 2, j is equals to 3. I is equals to 2, j is equals to 3. I is equals to 2 means again here we have the values w2 is equals to 1 and p2 is equals to 10. So v of 2 comma 3 is equals to, here again w is less than j. Max v of 1 comma 3 comma v of 1 comma 3 minus 1 is 2 plus 10. v of 1 comma 2 already we have here. Here also v of 1 comma 2 it is repeated. You just check v of 1 comma 3 is there. No, v of 1 comma 3 is not there. From this step you have to compute only v of 1 comma 3 because already we have v of 1 comma 2. Now step 7, you have to compute v of 2 comma 0. This is very easy. From here we will get the value, is it not? So your compute v of 2 comma 0. j is equals to 0. So this v of 2 comma 0 is equals to 0. If I is equals to 0 or j is equals to 0, then the entire value will be 0. So here one value is 0, it is 0. Next, here this is done. I'll come here, v of 1 comma 5. Step 8, compute v of 1 comma 5. I is equals to 1, j is equals to 5. I is equals to 1 means w1 is equals to 2 and p1 is equals to 12. I'm taking from the table, question table, don't get confused. Here w is again less than j. So v of 1 comma 5 is equals to max v of I value, it is 0, 0 comma 5, I minus 1 again 0, 5 minus 2, it is 3, plus profit is 12. Now compute v of 0 comma 5 and v of 0 comma 3. Okay, next what you have to compute, v of 1 comma 5 is done, then v of 1 comma 4. Step 9, compute v of 1 comma 4. I is equals to 1, j is equals to 4, w1 is equals to 2, p1 is equals to 12. Again w is less than j, v of 1 comma 4 is equals to max v of I minus 1 0 comma 4, then v of 0 comma 4 minus 2 is 2 plus 12. So you have to compute v of 0 comma 4 and v of 0 comma 2. Now we'll go for step 10. There you have to compute v of 1 comma 5 and 1 comma 4 is done. 1 comma 2 and 1 comma 1. First we'll take 1 comma 2. Before going for the further steps, here only we can just get the value for v of 1 comma 5. See here, max of v of 0 comma 5 means this one will become 0 because I is 0. So max of 0. Then here 0 comma 3 means again it will become 0 plus profit is 12. So this is 12. Again no need to compute this v of 0 and v of 0 comma 5 and v of 0 comma 3 because you will get it 0. We know that one. Is it not? Here both are 0 means we can directly compute the value. But here that is not the case, is it not? So here only 1 0 value we have got. So we have taken only 0. If one value is 0 means you should not take that one. If both the values are 0 means directly you can get the value. Now we have got the value for v of 1 comma 5 as 12. In the same way for v of 1 comma 4 also. See here v of 0 comma 4 it is 0 because one value is 0, that is I. Here also v of 0 comma 2 is again 0 plus 12. So maximum of this is 12. So v of 1 comma 4 also we have calculated, the value is 12. V of 1 comma 5 also we have calculated, the value is 12. Next what we have to calculate, v of 1 comma 2 we have to calculate. V of 1 comma 2 means I is equals to 1, j is equals to 2. If I is equals to 1 means w1 value is equals to 2, then p1 value is equals to 12. Here j is equals to w, the weights are equal, so again maximum. So max v of I minus 1 comma j, I minus 1 means 0 comma 2 comma v of I minus 1 that is 0 comma j minus wi that is 2 comma 2 is 0 plus your profit that is 12. So see here also max v of 0 comma 2 is 0, 0 comma 0 is 0 plus 12. So v of 1 comma 2 value also we got, it is 12. Is it not? After v of 1 comma 2 you have to find out v of 1 comma 1. Compute v of 1 comma 1. Next v of 1 comma 1 means I is equals to 1, j is equals to 1, then w1 is equals to 2, p1 is equals to 12. Now you see here w is greater than j. If w is greater than j means what you have to do? W is greater than j means v of 1 comma 1 is equals to v of I minus 1 comma j. I minus 1 is 0, j is 1, directly the value is 0. V of 1 comma 1 value is 0. Now we have done with V of 1 comma 2, V of 1 comma 1. From step 6 we have to compute V of 1 comma 3. So step 12, compute V of 1 comma 3. 1 comma 3 means I is equals to 1, j is equals to 3. I is equals to 1 means w1 is equals to 2, p1 is equals to 12. So V of 1 comma 3 is equals to max V of I minus 1 comma j. I minus 1 is 0, j is 3. Then V of I minus 1 is 0, j minus wi is 1 plus 12. So here again V of 0, max of 0 comma V of 0 comma 1 means 0 plus 12. Again we have got V of 1 comma 3 is equals to 12. We have just find out V of 1 comma 3 in further steps. No need to compute. Here 2 comma 0 already we got the value, we got the value, we got the value. Now what you have to do, you have to just apply the backward substitution in order to get the value for V of 4 comma 5. Now substituting backwards. Okay, step 12 got the value, 11 got the value, 10 got the value, 9 got the value, and then 8 got the value, 7 got the value, 6 we didn't get the value. So you have to compute the value for step 6 in step 13. Now I'll take step 13. Compute V of 2 comma 3. V of 2 comma 3. What we have got from V of 2 comma 3? It is max of V of 1 comma 3 comma V of 1 comma 2 plus 10. Is it not? I'll just write that one. This is equals to max V of 1 comma 3 V of 1 comma 2 plus 10. This seems lengthy, but according to the efficiency, this is very efficient than your dynamic programming and greedy method. Okay, and you have to be very careful while solving this one, because if you miss any one step, then the entire problem will be wrong. Yes, max V of 1 comma 3. Already we have computed the value for V of 1 comma 3. See, V of 1 comma 3 is 12, and V of 1 comma 2. V of 1 comma 2 also we have computed. It is 12 plus 10. So V of 2 comma 3. Max of this 12 and 22 is 22. So I'll get V of 2 comma 3 as 22. Now I have computed step 6. 2 comma 3, I got the value. Next go for the previous step. Compute V of 2 comma 2. That is for step 7 you have to compute V of 2 comma 2. Compute V of 2 comma 2. What you have in V of 2 comma 2? Max of V of 1 comma 2, V of 1 comma 1 plus 10. Max of V of 1 comma 2, V of 1 comma 1 plus 10. 1 comma 1 it is 0, 1 comma 2 it is 12. So this is equal to max. What is V of 1 comma 2 value? It is 12. 1 comma 1 is 0 plus 10. 12 and 10, which is maximum? 12 is maximum. So V of 2 comma 2 is equals to 12. Okay. Next, step 15. For your reference, you just write from step 6. This is from step 5. Then you will be not having any confusion. Now you go for step 4. Compute V of 2, 5. Compute V of 2, 5 from step 4. Then you will be not having any confusion. So here I'll get max of V of 1, 5, V of 1, 4 plus 10. 1, 5, 1, 4 plus 10. See here, 1, 5 value, it is 12. 1, 4 value, again it is 12. Substitute that here. 12 plus 10. This is 22 is the maximum over here. So V of 2, 5 is equals to 22. The same problem from yesterday I have taken. So in step 16, you have to check for step 3. What is there? V of 3, 3. You have to compute V of 3, 3. Compute V of 3, 3 from step 3. I'll get as max of V of 2, 3, V of 2, 0 plus 20. So V of 2, 3. Here only we have computed. V of 2, 3. Value is 22. This 2, 0 is 0 plus 20, which is maximum 22. So V of 3, 3 is 22. Next I'll go for step 17. That is, we have done with step 3. Now I'll go for step 2. What is step 2? Compute V of 3, 5. Compute V of 3, 5. Okay, V of 3, 5. I have max of V of 2, 5, V of 2, 2 plus 20. See here, V of 2, 5, V of 2, 2 plus 20. The same thing I'm taking. So, what is the value of V of 2, 5? We have already computed V of 2, 5 and 2, 2. See here, 2, 5. Sorry. V of 2, 2 value is 12 and V of 2, 5 value is 22. So V of 2, 5 value is 22. V of 2, 2 value is what? 12 plus your 20. This is 22 and this is 32, which is maximum 32. So V of 3, 5 value is equals to 32. Now the last step from the first step, what you have to compute? 4, 5. 4, 5 is V of 3, 5 and 3, 3. Compute V of 4, 5. Max V of 3, 5, V of 3, 3 plus 15. What is 3, 5 and 3, 3? 3, 5 here only it is there. It is 32. What is 3, 3? 3, 3 is 22. 22 and 32. Max 3, 5 is here only. It is 32, 22 plus 15. This will become 37. This is 32. So V of 4, 5 is equals to 37. 7. This is from step 1. This is from step 2. We have done till step 1. It is done now. We have got the values for all the things. Now the thing is, you have to just fill the table. How will you just fill the table? You have to just get all the values and you have to fill. Already I have written this table. I will go from the last step. See, step 18, v of 4, 5, it is 37. 4, 5, it will come here. This is 37. Then 3, 5 is 32, which is 3, 5. I is 3 and j is 5. 3, 5, it is 32. Are you getting I value and j value? Okay, it is 32. Next, step 16, 3, 3, it is 22. I is 3 and j is also 3. This one is 22. Okay, then 15, v of 2, 5. Again it is 22. 2, 5. This is 2. J is 5. So here again it is 22. 2, 5 is done. Next is 2, 2. It is 12. 2, 2. Here this value is 12. Next 2, 3. It is 22. 2, 3. It is 22. Okay, 2, 3 is done. Now 1, 3. It is 12. 1, 3. It is 12. V of 1, 1. It is 0. V of 1, 1. Here it is 0. One, 1 is 0. Next, v of 1, 2 is 12. 1, 2. It is 12. Then v of 1, 4. It is 12. 1, 5 is also 12. 1, 4. It is 12. Then 1, 5. Again it is 12. Go for the previous step. It is 2, 0 is 0. And further steps you should not go, because from step 6 only we have started computing the value. No need to check here, because here we don't have any value. Already we have filled this one. Is it not? V of 2, 0 is equals to 0. V of 2, 0. It is already done. Now only these are the values we need to compute this optimal solution. All other with null character you have to just fill. See, yesterday we have done one problem. In that all the values we have computed to get the optimal solution. But these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 values are not needed to compute this optimal solution. Without these 9 subproblem results, we can get the optimal solution. So this is the drawback of dynamic programming. In this memory function, we'll compute only the values which are needed and then we'll get the optimal solution. Therefore, optimal solution is equals to 37, the last value. This is knapsack using memory function. Okay, this is very important. Fine. Thank you.